Hey, hello all, welcome back to my channel. And today we are on the topic of AWS Bastian host. And many of you guys was thinking like what is like Bastian host. See, in Bastian host, here it acts like a barrier, like an army who will allow only you have permission to access inside. What is that mean? Like in a private subnet we don't give any internet access, and in public subnet we provide internet access. There is no internet access here in private subnet. Here it is having internet access, and we hear all the users. And here, like an army, whoever having permission to go access inside like private subnet, it will act as an army and allow only who have permission to go inside. And whoever doesn't have any permission, they will block stand. That is the main purpose of AWS Bastion host. In when we using in AWS, we known as AWS Bastion host, and it is the main definition of Bastion host. And why we need Bastion host? See, basically it help us to monitor system whoever having access, and also help us to like control access. We can give here the rules here in the this level, so we can control the access. And also we can help us to block internet access here. And from here only we have permission, we have permission, we can allow users, and other we can block here. These are the main purpose. Before starting AWS Bastion host, I will in this video also we are doing practical. Let's get started, and in this we are going step by step. Before starting, let's start. Go by step. In step 1 we are taking create our own VPC, because we can't use like AWS default VPC, because we are going to use our own step 1. Go to VPC console, dashboard, create VPC. Here select VPC only, give any name. I am going ng VPC. Here select 90 dot any as you need, like any name like VPC, but make sure end with /16. Why? Because VPC end with 16. Create VPC. I created my own VPC here. Let me select, yeah, one step is done. Step 1, create of own VPC. Once VPC is done, go to internet gateway. Herein we have to create our own. Why? This is the default VPC which comes with that particular region. We can't use this default, because we have to use our own internet gateway. Create our own internet gateway and attach with our own VPC. Yeah, step 2 is done. Create now our own internet gateway. Step 3, Here internet gateway is also done. Step 1 is done, step 2 is done. Step 3, create of our own subnets. One is private subnet, another is public subnet. Here in this we are providing internet access. Here we can't provide our internet access. Step 3, select our own VPC, give name for our subnets. I'm taking as availability zone as 1A. You can take anything, but for our convenience I'm taking like 1A. Give as subnet name. Any name. But make sure to give /24 because subnet ends with 24 slash. Create another subnet which is for private VPC under NGT, our own VPC, under our own VPC. For best availability zone, I was selecting another zone because in the public subnet I was taking 1A, so for that I was taking 1B, and make sure not collide with the public subnet. So for that reason I was taking was taking in public subnet I was taking 3, so we are taken as 26, so not to collide with public subnet. Here public subnet and private subnet is done. Here step 3 and step 4 is done. So now I was going into main routing table. Step 5. Whenever we create our own VPC, by default one one routing table will be created. That routing table will be known as main routing table. See in here our own VPC, it was created one routing table. We used to name here as main routing table. And remember we need to associate here creation is done. Step 5, we need to attach with our public subnet and also internet gateway. Here only creation is done whenever we create our own VPC. Main routing table will be created, but make sure we have to attach with both our VPC and also to our public subnet and also to our internet gateway. We have to do. So to do that, we need to go inside subnet association, edit subnet, and we need to associate with the public subnet. Save association. Why? Edit with public subnet. Why? Because here we are taken like public subnet. And we need to attach with internet gateway. So go to routes, edit routes, add rules, select /0. We need to select here internet gateway. Yeah, we have seen, notice that ngidw, that was the one. Save changes. Till here step 5 is done, and we need to go to step 6, creation of our own NAT gateway. To create NAT gateway, we need to select here NAT gateway. Create NAT gateway, give any name as per need, ng gateway, name, subnet name, public subnet, and we need to allocate elastic IP. If you want to use NAT gateway, we need to allocate elastic IP, then only it will work. So I allocate, and make sure to select here public subnet. Why? NAT gateway which present on public subnet and allow internet access to private subnet which that doesn't have network access. So we need to launch here in public subnet, and remember that, and create NAT gateway. Once NAT gateway is created, here till here creation is done. Step 6 is till it is done. We need to go to access from private subnet. To access from public subnet, we need one instances. That instances I was launching. Launch instance. I am naming as test. Select AMI as per in need. Or selecting list kernel 5.10. You can select anything as per need. Select instance name, instance type. I'm selecting here t2.micro for test purpose. So select key pair. I was selecting pair name, and here select remember here to select our own internet gateway, like internet or own VPC. We can't select our default which is provided by AWS. We have to select here our own VPC, and select here public subnet, because we are launching on the top of public subnet. And remember, you have to here select enable, because to access from outside world we need public IP addresses. So you have to select enable, and here we can select our own security group or existing security group. So I was selecting, I can create here our own. For test purpose I was selecting like anywhere, but for all traffic, but make sure don't use this, because as per company standard we never use like all traffic, but our test purpose I was taking. We have to select particular ports which is accessible to outside world. For test purpose I was taking all traffic, but don't do that. As per need, only we have to follow the particular ports. You have to select from here. Once everything is done, select here the public subnet and our own VPC, and remember you have to enable internet access so that it will be accessed from outside. Launch. Yeah, here step 7 is done. Till here step 7 is done. We need to do step 8. What is step 8? We need to create our own routing table and we need to attach it with private subnet and also attach with our here till subnet level. What is in subnet level? NAT gateway. It was sitting here in the subnet level, so we have to attach here with NAT gateway, and then we need to attach with private subnet. Go to VPC console dashboard, go to routes table, create create routes table, give any name as we need. I was selecting it as ng CRTB. Select our own VPC name as ng VPC I made. Create route table, and we need to associate here. To associate, select edit subnet level, select here private subnet, save association, and here in routes, edit routes, select, and make sure to select here NAT gateway, because we are allowing a NAT gateway in public subnet. So select here that particular NAT gateway name, save changes. Yeah, here till step 8 is done, which is associate with NAT gateway and also here to private subnet. And we need to select here create our instances which present on private subnet which doesn't have internet access. So we have to create some name instances. To create that, go to instances level, launch instance, any name. I was taking as backup data or any name as per, just I'm taking a backup. You have to select here key pair name, taking as name, and make sure and remember you have to select our own VPC here. We can't take our public default one. You have to say select our own VPC, and make sure to select here private subnet which doesn't have an internet access. And here we need to select disabled. We can't give internet access here in the private subnet, and we can select our own or you can create our existing. whichever our need we can select here, doesn't matter, but make sure select internet access which is disabled here option. Once everything is done, make sure recheck and launch it. This is the perfect Bastian host which is we created now, just now. All steps is done. Go to instance level. See in the test which is present in the public subnet, which has the internet access having like both IP addresses. Public IP addresses for accessing outside world and private is for internal communication. When you notice in the backup which I launched in the private subnet, it doesn't have internet access. I will show you. Let me load it. Here doesn't have internet access. Why? Because we didn't give an internet access by giving the option as disabled. So here doesn't have any public IP addresses. Select IP address, go to any launch. I was taking putty, you can select as per need. Any such configuration you can do, but I was taking putty. Here I was still taking as peer. Accept. EC2 user. Yeah. I was giving permission like user. Here we are on the IP address of 117, which it is on the test with each having internet access. From here we need to go inside backup, which is present in the private subnet. To access that, we need to select. See, to access here we don't have internet access. To access private subnet which having instances, we need to create we have to select here the PIM file, open it, open with notepad and make sure to copy everything. Paste it. Before that, type I for insert and paste it. Escape shift colon WQ to save changes. Once it is done, and remember to do anything, we need to give permission in the user level. To give permission, just do chmod 700/tmp p.pim. we are in the public subnet level. To access instances which present in the private subnet, we need to type ssh /i the path of the PEM file. This private IP address. Now we will notice, are you sure you want to go access? You have to type S. Now we are in the private subnet level of instances. You can notice the change in the IP addresses here 224, here 247. This 247 is in the public subnet instance. 224 it is in the private instances. We didn't have internet access, so we did by using like Bastian host. This instance now was in public perfect AWS Bastian host. From here we can do internet access. For this I am just taking Google ping.google.com, so it will give data will flow, shows that now we did a perfect AWS Bastian host. Once everything is done, delete everything so that we can reduce the cost building. To do that, go to instances, select instances, terminate, go to VPC, NAT gateway, delete it, type delete, till it shows deleted. We can't release the elastic IP. We have to wait till it got deleted. It's still in the deleted mode. Wait till it deleted, then only we can release elastic IP. Yeah, now it was deleted, so we can release elastic IP. Why we need to release elastic IP? Because it will charge. Elastic IP charges us. Let me just release once again, check it. Saying something. Okay, it for saying deassociate, then only it will be released. Okay. For that I'm going to delete VPC, then we can delete release elastic IP. Select delete VPC. Yeah, everything is deleted. When we create, like if we delete like our VPC, it will all delete all the public subnets and private subnet. We don't need to create individually. See here, all the public subnet and private subnet, everything is deleted, which we created. You can notice here in the route table also, which is all deleted. We don't need to create externally. And here in the elastic IP address, we need to release it. Yeah, now it will be released. You can notice. Yeah, you have to do all the things and make sure to release elastic IP because it will be charged. And if you like my channel, if you like this video, like, share and comment any doubts, and make sure to refer to your friends who are new to AWS and also interested in learning AWS services.